Good morning, welcome back to Farmer's Wife Homestead. I'm Stacey, if this is the first time we're meeting. Boy, am I muddling up my words today, but hey, that's normal for me. Corned beef. The massive, huge piece of corned beef, or corn silverside as it's called. Not sure what it's called in other countries. I think it's either silverside or corned beef, maybe brisket, not sure. But this is a nice big piece that I got. As I've said before, I like to get a big piece so that we can have some for cold, or I can use it for another recipe. Now, so following on from my last video, which was 3 budget-friendly Instant Pot meal ideas, quite a lot of you wanted to see my corned beef, how I cook corned beef with my special potatoes. I don't usually cook these potatoes with any other meal other than the corned beef. So there's a couple of ways that you can cook your corned beef. Traditionally it's usually boiled or simmered, and you know, you want to simmer it for at least 3 hours until it's, you know, tender to the knife. Traditionally that's how I used to always make them, and then there is the slow cooker method, but I find that that can get a little bit, I don't know, it seems to get a little bit more waterlogged, even more so than simmering. But I like to pressure cook mine now, so it's kind of like it's steamed, and so we're going to use the pressure cooker to do it today. Alright, so we're going to do the whole meal, the whole shebang of how I make the corned beef. Alright, I'm going to get my apron on and we'll get to making it. Alright, so my piece is, it's rubbed off. It's quite a huge piece. I'd say this is a good couple of kilos. Actually, I'll just weigh it. I'm just going to weigh it so you've got an idea. Yep, I was right, 2 kilos. 2 kilos and 15 grams. So, I've got my little trivet. I'm going to put the trivet in. Put it down the right way. And I'm going to grab some hot water. My 2 cups of hot water. Actually, I might put 3 cups of hot water in here. There's 2. There's 3. Now I'm also going to add some malt vinegar. So I'm just going to add a little bit of malt vinegar. That's more for the liquid for later, and because we're also going to make a mustard sauce, and I'm just going to shove just a little bit of sugar in the bottom. Right, now with this size piece, so that it cooks faster, if you've got a small piece, you know, you could buy whatever size piece you like. Some of you were commenting that there's only one of you, so you don't cook corned beef. So I just rinse my hand. But you could buy a smaller piece and then pop the slices, cooked slices, in the freezer. Or you could save it for another meal. So there, it's in half. I'm just going to pop it onto the trivet. But it is slightly in the water as well. Just a little bit in the water as well. I'm going to wash my hands again. So there, you see it's, you know, like I used to cover it with water, but now I don't. I put the lid on. It doesn't matter what sort you've got. I've got the Instant Pot Pro, but I'm going to pop it onto pressure cook. I want it custom. I want it on high, and I am going to start with 1 hour. Usually takes an hour and a half, but I'm going to start with 1 hour because I want to add some vegetables as well. So after 1 hour I will come back and we will go with the next step. I might as well tell you what we're having with it. So traditionally this is how I've always done it. It's just the method of the cooking of the corned beef that has changed. So I make these potatoes that I pre-parboil, and so that means that they're almost cooked but not quite there. And then I coat them in some good oil, some garlic, bash them against the pot and the lid, and then I heat them up in the oven, and they go crispy and unctuous and yummy and fluffy on the inside, crispy on the outside. They pair so nicely with slices of corned beef and a mustard sauce. So I'll show you how to make the mustard sauce using some of the leftover liquid in this. And then I always have a side of carrot, onion, and we usually have peas as well. So we've got to have a little bit of the green. And I've recently started doing cabbage with it. So I didn't do the cabbage when my kids were growing up. It was just the carrots, the onion, the potatoes, and the corned beef with the mustard sauce, and that was all it ever was. But my husband enjoys the cabbage. The cabbage. So he also really loves the potatoes done in this as well. So I will do a couple for him, but he will have double potatoes. He'll have the boiled ones and he'll have some of the crispy ones as well. I'm actually making this, what is our time? It's actually just after lunch, and so it's going to be way early, but that's fine. It just means that I don't have to make dinner later on. So while this is doing its whole hour thing, I'm just going to move it over to here. We will get the vegetables ready, and we will get the potatoes on their way. All right. If you can, you just want to just slightly shave off the root ball so that it stays together, and then just take that first layer off. So I cut that one down. This one's going to fall apart, but this one's got the root ball still intact, so hopefully that one should stay together. So you just get the root and just like that. Alright, somebody actually asked if, how long it takes for these things to cook. So that's all I've done in the time, and it's about to seal. You can hear it, it's already boiling. There, it's now cooking. So in the time it's taken me to peel these two things, so under 5 minutes. Those are dirty, I might prep these first. I'm going to pop these into some water while we wait. Got a bowl. Of course, you don't have to have the exact same vegetables as me. If you don't like certain things, that's absolutely fine. But this is traditionally what I like to make, with the exception of the cabbage is new. So I've been doing that for the last few years. So you just want to halve your carrots because they're going to be pressure cooked for a while, so you don't want them too small. So the onions are perfect the way they are. And I always make more than what I actually need because we love leftovers. And I usually do my potatoes under cold water. I'm just going to do a whole heap of potatoes, and then I will come back and show you the size. Right there I've got the onions and the carrots, and then I've got a pot of water here. Right, so the potatoes, you want about that size. I've done extra. You want them round about the same size. You want to put them in cold water. And you can cook these way in advance. And then just reheat later. So I'm going to add some salt to the water, and then I'm going to pop them on to boil, and then I'll show you the next step. Right, so that is bubbling away, and you basically just want to grab a little knife and keep an eye on it. You want it so that the knife is going in, but that they're not going to fall apart. So that they're not quite cooked, but enough that you're going to be able to smash them against the pot, which I will show you, and sort of, yeah. In the meantime, I grabbed 3 pucks of my garlic, and I'm just getting them to thaw. And the pressure cooker has 34 minutes to go left on this round of cooking. And as I said, we'll see how the meat's going. I did chop it in half, so it would cook faster. And then we will put it on for probably another half an hour to do the rest of the veggies. So all I need to do is just keep an eye on these spuds. In the meantime, I am going to heat up my roasting dish in the oven until it's nice and hot, so about 180 on fan bake. And I will show you what we need to do once these are ready. So we'll come back shortly, and I'm just going to prep some wedges of cabbage as well. So there's just a couple of wedges of cabbage. Just going to pop them in the water as well. Right, that's perfect. Slightly overdone. I was on the phone. Talking to my daughter. Right, and this has got 17 minutes to go. So I'm just going to drain these, and yeah, they're slightly overdone, but that's okay. It'll all work out. Just let them steam for a bit. Right, so I've put my garlic down there. Grab my potatoes. I'm just going to take some oil. This is I've got the good oil, rapeseed oil, and it's got a high smoking point, which is good. So you just want to cover that. And I usually use chicken stock, but I'm out of chicken stock, so I'm just going to put a little sprinkling of veggie stock powder. And then I'm going to grab the lid, and then you're just going to shake it. Turn it upside down and give it a couple of shakes till it's all sort of been covered in the oil and the garlic. So in the meantime, the roasting dish, I've put some oil on the bottom of that, and you want to heat it until it's piping hot. I've been doing veggie prep for the week as well. So you want it so that it's nice and piping hot. So it should be just about there. And then you're going to pop these potatoes into the hot oil. And the pressure cooker has got 13 minutes to go, so timing wise it's going to be perfect. So I'm just going to grab the roasting dish. Be careful because it's hot, obviously. Now you're probably going to have, the pot is going to have all that goodness in the bottom of it, so get it out and just, yes, it's like mashed potato, but I just plonk it all in there as they go all crispy and yummy. But you've got all your garlic in the bottom of the pot, so get all of that out. And then I just give everything a little bit of space and pop them in that 180 degree oven for about half an hour. Right, so that's in at the moment and about halfway through, so I'll put the timer on for about 20 minutes, and then we'll have a look at them after 20 minutes. Right, so that toggle's gone down now, so it's now safe to open this top. Remember to open it away from your face. And I'm just going to grab a knife and see how we're going. Yep, that's cooking along nicely. Now we're going to pop these veg in. So we've got the onions, I've got a couple of the spuds for husband, so he can have his boiled spud, or the carrot, and the cabbage wedges. Right, now we're going to pop that on for about another half an hour. It's not going to take very long to come back up to pressure. It's going to be probably a minute or two because the water is already very hot. So the second half will go a lot quicker. I'm going to have a look at these potatoes. Now I'm just going to, see that side's really crispy, just turn everything. See all that, those are my favourite bits, those bits there. So just turn everything over so that you get more than one crispy side. I usually like to use proper cloves of garlic, but I planted all mine, all my cloves. Can you see how crispy that is? Yum. And then you get these smaller bits that become really sort of over toasted, and if you use real garlic cloves, the garlic just sort of goes all sticky and gooey and yummy. So another 10 minutes, because remember they're pretty much already cooked. You're just wanting to get them crispy. This has got another 10 minutes to go, the pressure cooker with the corned beef, and at a minimum, I mean, it's going to depend on the size that you're using. As I told you, I used a 2 kilo piece and I cut it in half. It definitely needed another half an hour, at least another half an hour, but we will have a look and see how it is after the next bit. Once this is done, then we are going to use some of the cooking liquid that had the malt vinegar and the brown sugar in there, and we're going to use that to make a mustard sauce. Right, those potatoes have had another 10 minutes and they are done. Listen to that crackle. My favourite ultimate roasted potatoes. Well, I like to call them special potatoes. Alright, this has got 8 minutes to go, and then I've got a colander with a bowl underneath, and that's going to help drain any liquid that is formed in the vegetables that is in the Instant Pot. I've got myself a pot ready on the stove, and we'll make up the mustard sauce. Now, I can't give you a recipe for it because I just do it by sight and by taste. So we'll make it up together anyway, and yeah, you might just want to jot down, but I will try and write up a recipe and put it on the new website. Speaking of the new website, my daughter Courtney and I have been working extremely hard at getting this website up and running. I still do have a website that's got some recipes, but it's not a very user-friendly website. So at the moment I'm writing up new recipes and converting from the old website to the new website, and then whenever I do a video, if I've got a recipe in it, I will have a link straight to the website to the recipe, and that you can print it off. So hopefully that will be done within, I would like to say, hopefully within the next month. Soon if possible. It's not going to be a full website because I've got so many that I need to go back through all these videos and write up recipe posts for them and stuff. It's going to be a lot of work. But yeah, so that's super exciting. So yeah, I will work at putting the mustard sauce recipe up on the new website. All right, 10 minutes to go. Oh no, it's done. So I'm thinking, I'm sure I just said 8 or 9 minutes. It's actually already done. It's been sitting there on keep warm for 10 minutes. I was sitting on the computer writing back comments to you guys. So yeah, I'm going to vent it. And I'm just going to grab all this veg out. Just have a feel of the... Oh yeah, that's cooked. So you're just looking for some resistance. It's falling apart. There's husband's potatoes and carrot and the onion. I'm going to take some of this cooking liquid . got about 2 cups of the liquid, and I'm going to bring you over to the stove. Alright, to make the mustard sauce, I'm going to turn this on to high. I'm going to pop in 1 egg, about 1/4 cup, yeah, there's probably about 1/4 cup of sugar, and about 2 heaping tablespoons of flour, and I'm just going to whisk that together. Make sure that all of those ingredients are combined, get right around the corners. Then I'm just going to grab a bit of malt vinegar, put a couple of tablespoons of malt vinegar in, again give it a really good whisk. Make sure that you're getting up right around the edges, and you could always use a spoon if you've got any flour around the edges. Now I'll leave the salt for now, but I want to put in just to your, you know, put the mustard powder to your taste, to what you like, and you need to use a whisk for this. And I'm just going to put about 1.25 cups of the water in. They're really good. It's going to thicken up real quick. Because that liquid's hot, so it thickens really quickly. And as I said, use a spoon if you need to get around the corners. I'm just going to turn that off for a sec. Put the rest of it in. Okay, I'm going to turn it back on. You want a really thick sauce. See how thick that is? I want it nice and thick. I'll turn that back off again. Right, give it a try. Yum. I like a little bit more mustard. So I'm also going to grab some of my mustard that we made together. Put 1/2 tablespoon in there. Whisk that again. It's going to add just a pinch of salt. Actually need just a tiny dash more of vinegar. Perfect. Done. Right, everything's ready. Let's plate this up. That beautiful tender, fall apart corned beef. It's so tender. Then we've got some of the carrot. Bit of the onion. Some of the cabbage. Some peas. And the special potatoes. Some mustard sauce. Delicious. Look at those potatoes. Yum. And then the corned beef with the mustard sauce. I mean, it's just like falling apart. The corned beef is falling apart with my fork. So tender. It doesn't taste waterlogged. That's the beauty of doing it in the pressure canner. It steams it, so it holds its integrity, but it's so soft. And the carrots are yum. I'm having an early dinner. What is it? It's 3:20. Oop, and early dinner. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed seeing how I make my favourite meal, corned beef with my special potatoes. And I thank you as always for spending time out of your day. And if you enjoyed this video and you haven't subscribed, I'd love it if you would subscribe and give me a like. And leave me a message in the comment and tell me if you're going to have a go at making this. So thank you again, and hope to see you on the next one. Bye for now.